In this video, we're going to be testing out two screen protectors for the brand new iPad Pro 13-inch made by Benks. One is made by Accessory Glass 2 by Corning, which is a tempered glass screen protector. It's got enhanced drop resistance, wear and scratch resistance, and it's also smooth and sensitive. And then here we have an anti-slip, anti-glare paper feel film screen protector, which would be great for people who like to draw and things like that to kind of give you that authentic paper type feel. Now, we'll be putting both these screen protectors to the test. We're going to be doing a drop test, a scratch test. We're also going to be testing out our brand new Apple Pencil Pro to see how well it works with the film and the tempered glass. And I'm also going to be going through the installation for both of these as well. So you're definitely going to want to stick around until the end of the video, and I promise you at the end, you'll know which one of these screen protectors are right for you. And if you guys do want to pick these up, I will be putting product links in the video description. So let's get started. So first we're going to test out the Paper Feel Matte Film Screen Protector. And then here we have the Benks Paper Feel Matte Film Screen Protector. So we get an installation packet, our instructions, and one screen protector. So first you're going to clean off your screen with the alcohol wipe, then dry it off, then remove any dust you might see. Then take your screen protector, making sure that the number 3 is on the top of the screen protector and the cutout is going towards the camera and sensors on the top of your iPad. Next, we're going to peel off the number 1 on the back here. And then be very careful. I would hold the number 3, and we're going to place the bottom part of the screen protector on your iPad to kind of get it in place. Then you can let down the number 3 to adhere to your screen to start the installation. So once you have the screen protector in place, you can see that only this portion has adhered to your screen to allow us to install the rest of the screen protector pretty much in place. So take your squeegee and try to get out as many of these bubbles as you can before we continue. Then once that's done, I would get your squeegee ready. We're going to lift up on the screen protector from the side that's not adhered, and we're going to peel off the bottom number 2 here, just like this. Let that go over the top of your iPad, and then kind of use your squeegee to squeegee this down without any bubbles the best you can. And then try to remove any bubbles before we take off the top piece. We did get a couple bubbles. It looked like we got a piece of dust underneath the screen there. So once you've got all the bubbles that you got out that you can, we'll gently peel off the number 3. And there we go. So we do have a couple pieces of dust. We have one here and one here. Definitely not horrible. Installation was, it could have been a little better. Maybe make a bigger piece that was adhering to the screen, because when we pulled back on the other piece, this piece started to come up already. But installation doesn't look too bad. It does look like there's a gap all the way around the screen for case compatibility, which again we will be testing out. We have our cutout on the top there. As far as touch, it feels exactly like you're touching paper. It's got kind of like that kind of semi-rough texture. It's very light though. And your fingers are nice and smooth to the touch on the screen, but you can hear that. As far as touch goes, the screen protector doesn't seem to show fingerprints at all. Now, the one thing I will let you know about all of these paper feel screen protectors, not just the ones from Benks, is if you have very dry fingers and you run your finger across the screen a little bit harder than normal, you will get like this residue, like your skin residue left behind on the screen protector, but you can very easily just kind of wipe that away. It's just something to note. But again, touch is nice and smooth. Now again, not only is this a paper feel screen protector, but it's also an anti-glare. Kind of keeps that glare down, especially if you're outside in the sun. It will dull the sharpness a little bit, but you can still very easily see what's on the screen, and it is nice and clear. And as far as touch goes, everything is working perfectly fine. So now let's see what the screen looks like as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And as you can see, there is almost no rainbow effect at all. It's very slight, which is definitely a plus. So now let's test out our Apple Pencil. And the Apple Pencil seems to be writing just fine. It's nice and smooth. And it feels exactly like I'm writing on paper. It's got just that little resistance like paper would. But there's no skipping, no issues. It's pretty nice. Can very easily write. It actually feels really nice when you have your palm on the screen as well, and there's absolutely no issues with drawing. And you can see the eraser is exactly on the tip of the pencil. So now let's put it in our case. Seems to fit perfectly. Don't see any lifting, no bubbles. It seems to come almost to the edge of the case itself. There's just a very slight gap around the bottom, the right side, the top, and it seems to come right up to the edge of the case on the left because, again, I was placing it myself. But for the most part, this should be case friendly with most cases. If you've seen all my other screen protector videos, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of the anti-glare screen protectors. I just like the way that they feel, and I do like that kind of softer look to the screen. Just looks really cool. And I really love the fact that it does not show any fingerprints whatsoever. That's definitely a huge plus. So everything's looking great for this screen protector. Now let's move on to the scratch test. Now, because this is a film screen protector, they always have a lower tolerance for scratch resistance, but they typically start to scratch around a Mohs hardness number 3 at deep gouges. So we're going to start off with a number 2, which is just simply plastic. Then we'll move on to a number 3, which is copper. And as you can see, it does leave deep gouges that will not go away. So we do have some residue from the number 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe that down just to make sure that that's not scratches and just leftover residue. Alright, so now that I've wiped it down, it looks like there are no scratches at the number 2, which is great, but we do have deep gouges at a number 3, and that is typical across the board for film screen protectors. So installation for the screen protector wasn't horrible, but it definitely could have been a little better with some sort of a outside guide on the screen to help align it a little better and to not get this dust in the corner. It also does seem to be case friendly, works perfectly fine with that brand new Apple Pencil Pro, and scratch resistance is pretty standard for film screen protectors. And then here we have the Benks Glass Warrior Clear Tempered Glass Screen Protector. So we get an installation guide, an installation packet, a dust remover, and one tempered glass screen protector. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to clean off your screen with the alcohol wipe, then dry it off. Then take your installation guide, it doesn't matter which way you put it, and we're going to put it over the top of our iPad. Make sure it's pressed into place. Then take your screen protector, making sure that the sticker on the bottom left corner is on the underside of the screen protector and the cutout is going towards the camera on the top of your iPad. We're going to peel off the bottom protector just like this, and we can rest it inside the guide. And it should start to adhere to your screen. I don't know if you guys can see that already. You can use your finger to help it along if you need. Then we'll lift up on the guide. Now it does look like we have a rather large bubble in the center here. If you have a squeegee, I would use that. If not, use a plastic credit card. Make sure you don't use anything metal. We'll just push this bubble out. All right, so I was able to get that bubble out fairly easily just by using the squeegee and give everything a wipe. But other than that, installation looks really nice. Screen protector is crystal clear. Touch feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the iPad itself. The edges are also rounded off. There is also a slight gap all the way around the screen, so we'll test out the case compatibility. As far as touch, seems to do a great job at fingerprint rejection. We only have very slight smudges on the screen, and you can very easily just wipe those away. So as you can see, again, the screen is crystal clear. Touch working perfectly fine. Very smooth. So now let's look at the screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. So as you can see, this screen has some rainbow effect. Depending on how you're looking at it, it may change. And that may or may not bother you. It doesn't me, but it's just something to note. Now let's test out our Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil seems to be working just fine. It's nice and smooth. The line is right at the end of the Apple Pencil. There's no breakage. Working perfectly fine. And as you can see, the eraser, again, is right on the tip. So you shouldn't have any problems drawing with your Apple Pencil on the screen protector. So definitely looking good so far. Now let's put our iPad into our case. So it looks like it fits this case perfectly. It comes right up to the bottom, the left edge, and almost on the right, and there's a slight gap on the top. So I don't see any lifting, I don't see any bubbles. It seems to fit the case perfectly. If you can get the screen protector to fit just like this, that's the best, because that's less spots for dust and things to collect. So I kind of like it tight. It may or may not work with a lot of other cases, but it does seem to be case friendly. So I'm really loving everything about this screen protector so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to start off the drop test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go at 2 feet. Moving on to 3 feet. 3 feet. All right, so this screen protector lasted up until a 3-foot drop. Now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch around a Mohs hardness number 6. So we're going to start off with a number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. So if we take a closer look, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are deeper at a number 6 and about the same at a number 7. So scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector was really easy. It also does seem to be case friendly. It seems to work perfectly fine with the Apple Pencil. It lasted up until a 3-foot drop, and scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. Both of these screen protectors had really good things going for them, and I really did like the Glass Warrior because it was easy to install, it looks great on the tablet, and it's also going to still protect your screen from scratches and drops. And I love the anti-glare of the paper feel. It also doesn't show any fingerprints, and it feels just like you're writing on paper with the Apple Pencil. I'm curious, what's most important for you? Do you care about drop protection, scratch resistance, or anti-glare? Let me know in the comments below. And again, if you guys want to pick either one of these screen protectors up, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.